back India to your Caribou Data Science channel. So we're going to try something here first. All these things are getting kind of crazy on me here. But that one seems to be okay. Yeah, because I'm retired. I'm what am I? I'm 62, 63, 64. I retired when I was 62. Although I am sort of kicking the idea around and trying to get in the job of data analytics, just to see how good or bad I really am in the real world. I actually been chatting with this one guy, Aaron SQL, who's a big SQL guy, and I kind of said, hey, if you and he's looking for work. I said, hey, if you know someone who's looking for a junior analyst, by all means, give him my name. He said, hey, he said, I'll do that, sure. So we'll see what happens. I'm not really actively looking by any stretch of the imaginations. Let's go up here and let's run our numbers for India then. I'll probably take like like a, it'll probably take like a week to remind myself of why I retired when I was 62. you know, the trouble wasn't the job, the technical requirements. The trouble would be putting up with the people. Okay, so anyway, let's come over here and take a look at some numbers for India, shall we? Okay. So anyway, we're looking at the previous 365, most recent 365 days worth of data. So within that 365-day window, India's had 30.7 million cases, 334,476 deaths. Well, their cases aren't nearly as bad as as bad as some countries, but nonetheless, there are over 5 million cases so far in India for 2022. Deaths are much lower, which is good. Now, would I smash the job? No, I don't really know what level of say SQL they would expect for a junior analyst. Okay, of course the secret is the old adage is under promise and over deliver, right? So I'd say, oh, I'm just a junior level analyst. Yeah, I have some basic idea of R and SQL and stuff like that. But I'm really and then you go in there and you really do a bang up job, and they're like, wait a minute, I thought you said you didn't have any experience. Well, it's all a matter of how you measure experience. Because part of the trouble was I just don't have enough ambition to go and like update my because I haven't worked in since I was 62. Okay, so I have this big gap on my. Yeah. Well, I mean that is the question. It's like, see, my thing is I tend to be brutally honest during interviews. You know, my thing is you see all these videos is showing you how to prepare, for an interview, a technical interview. Well, you know what? If I don't know the answer to the question, I'm not gonna fake it. So it's like I don't know. Again, it really is the question of getting, of actually getting motivated to go out and say, update a profile on Indeed or Monster Board or something like that. Of course, the other thing is I'm only interested in remote work. I don't want to drive to work anymore. So that narrows it down a little bit. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. The perfect job would be somewhere on the west coast of the U.S. Which is 4 hours behind me. That way, I wouldn't have to get up to like noon, 11, 10, 11 or noon if I had a job. If the job site was actually located on the western coast of the U.S. or from Colorado westward. Anyway, so we can see about what is this? India. India has had on January 31st had 167,059 cases, and they're averaging 238,613 cases per day. Now, when you look at this here, this is just a straight, there you go. We'll tell her I said hi. Okay, so anyway, and you can see that your deaths, had 1,192 deaths on January 31st. What about the averages here? And you're averaging 825.7 deaths per day. Now you can look over here, you can see the Omicron spike in cases here, okay? Completely, and you can see over here, the good news is your deaths are still relatively low, okay? If this is last week's data, then yeah, then that's down from the previous 2 or 3 weeks. So that's a glimmer of hope. The line there, of course, is 5,000 deaths. What about cases? Well, the good news is, as the old saying goes, any port in a storm, right? So in this case, uh, the 22 cases are the third most cases of any during the 12 month. But I've seen some countries where January 2022 cases was the most cases of any month during the previous 12 months. Yours is only the third most. So we'll take it how we can get it, right? And in terms of deaths, you can see here the January deaths were slightly over 12,500, up from the previous 4 months. Okay, so that concludes this report for India. For it, let's see if it'll allow me to upload this now. Okay, so that takes care of India.